I've always been a unique person, you know what I mean? Sort of laid back in a way, but very adamant and very passionate about what I believe. I think a lot of times that sort of throws people off because they don't expect me to have the mindset or the process of thought that I do. And so when you come in to watch my channel, you may hear a myriad of thoughts and ideas that could be different from others. What I want you to do is just sit back, like, share, and subscribe. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. Helping you along the way. Helping you to make it through another day. Yeah, yeah. Everything you need to know that you never knew, that you need to know. Black eye perspective. Well, hello and good morning, everybody. It's hump day. Mike. I love doing that, so you'll hear that a plethora of times, like a multitude of times. I will always do that noise because I love it. I think that was the funniest commercial to watch the humpback camel walking through the office talking about, hey, Mike, how's it going? And none of them like the guy. How many of us have felt like that camel? Hey, how's it going? You come in the office all bright and early. Nobody wants to hear it. You know, can you imagine that attitude on a Monday? Hope you guys brought your coffee because I did. And we have some really funny picks today. Some funny choices that we've made for stories. That's right. Yes, we did. Who do we have here? I saw Oz and Melvin Thomas Jr. Good morning, morning. Good morning. Aw, you are so precious. Thank you so much, kind sir. Now, Melvin, did you see this story this morning about the oldest lady in the world, quite possibly the oldest woman? Did you see this? It was a story that she just passed away. So if you haven't seen it, let me go on ahead and share it with you right quick. She's the oldest woman, believed to be the oldest woman in the world. So let's just get right into it, shall we? Here she is, lovely little lady in blue and white. She is from the Philippines, and she was reported to be 125 years old, Melvin. 124 years old. Good morning, Sarah Brown. Sarah Brown, did you hear about this story? About this lady, Francisca Susano? She was 124 years old when she passed away. Yes, she was. I did not know this. I woke up this morning and I thought, oh, how sweet and precious is this? What a wonderful story. Then somebody asks me, well, wouldn't it be great if you could live to be 124? Oh, yeah, you could be 150. I said, beat it. I don't want anything to do with that thought process. What's the matter? Don't you want to be like 150? No, thanks. I don't. And deal with this crap show? Oh, no. Let's not push it. Whatever the Father says, that's it. I mean, of course, if he says 124, if he says 180, if he says, 200, whatever he says, so be it. But it can't be this clown college show that's going on. How can we say what we'll do based on what he says and then say, but I don't want this clown college? Oh, goodness gracious. Can you imagine all of us driving around in George Jetson, like, wheelchairs or something, like jetpacks or something. 150 years old with our current physical states of what we're dealing with here on this planet. Oh, man. Well, Susanna, Francisca Susanna, affectionately known as Lola Isca, died on Monday night at her home in the city of Cabancalan, the Philippines. In the Philippines, the local government officials say that she was the oldest person in the world, surpassing the previous record holder by 2 years. Well, now it's thought that the Guinness World Records were examining documents as recently as September, but she died before they could independently verify her age. Now, the local records claim that Francisca was born September 11th, 1897, 1 year before Spain relinquished its reign over the Philippines and sold it to the United States of America. Now, it's also the year that the ice cream scoop was invented. They just wanted to throw that in for good measure, I guess. And when macaroni sent the first ever radio transmission across the sea. Now, the secret to Lola's long life is believed to be a diet consisting of mainly vegetables with a very little amount of pork. And she also says she didn't do any of the alcohol. And in our current state, dealing with what I just got through mentioning, there'd have to be plenty of alcohol on deck for me to want to be here 150 years. With what they've got handled here. But let's look at her. Here's a couple of her breathing exercises. That's wonderful. She's playing her harmonica.
Nami gid labi, liwat ato kunula nami gid tulahaw kasi naot gid kami. Si Lola lang matinukar dira kasi lindron kay masinaot kami di. Sige daw, mamati kami. Tudo-tuduhon gina kay nami ginang tudo-tudo gid kay lungs exercise. Manami-nami gina si Lola kaya gid karon wa ginahapo si Lola. La, ano imong ginakaon permi nga gulay la? Katong kalabasa? Ano pa to gani imong nami nga ginakaon? Gulay bala? Nga ang ang mga gulay to bala? La. Ato balang paborito ni mo bala nga gulay sa una bala nga utan? La, utan ba? Utan. Itong mga utan sa una nga panahon. Ano to imong na tong gabi? Gabi, kamuti.
Aww, that is so sweet. Thank you so much for saying that it's Marconi because it looks like macaroni to me. But it is Marconi. That's exactly what you gave me. Thank you, madam. It is also the first year that the ice cream scoop was invented and when Marconi sent the first ever radio transmission across the sea. Thank you, honey bunch. Who is this nice gal? Dirty Linder. Girl, what's your real name? Girl, what's your real name? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, I thought that was a sweet story. And it's your birthday today? Melvin, it's your birthday. Get busy. It's your birthday. Get busy. It's your birthday. Sarah Brown says, I wonder if she took anything. I bet no. No, as a matter of fact, the story goes on to say, oh, thank you, Princess. You don't have to tell us for real, but I think that's sweet of you. And thank you for the correction. I appreciate you. Yes, good morning, Linda. I like Linda's blue blouse. Oh, that's my favorite color, blue. That's my favorite blue. But she ate no pork. With her sweet self. Francisca, affectionately known as Lola. Well, it also says here that she also said drinking no alcohol also played a big role in reaching such a ripe old age. And then Jake Carlin Gonzalez, the public information officer of the city there, said that the cause of death is undetermined. It's not determined as yet. However, he did tell the CNN Philippines that she would be tested for COVID-19. But that she was not thought to have suffered any symptoms of the virus. And in a statement on Facebook, the city government of Cabanacalan said that it is with great sadness in our heart when we received the news that our beloved Lola Francisca passed away on this past Monday, November the 22nd. Lola is considered to be the oldest person in Negros Occidental and the Philippines. Sweetie pie. Little sweet baby. And there's her cake. And there's her doing her lungs exercises. I just thought this was a sweet story to share. Okay? Some more stuff in there. This will be down below in the description for you, so that way you can read it at your discretion. That's really sweet, though. I think that's a sweet story. But now, in some other kooky news, I just want to ask a quick question. What is going on here with the border? What's going on with the whole deal with people who come in here that don't have to have a shot? This is concerning, and I don't care who you are, it's concerning, and I'm concerned. I'm concerned because I feel like it should be even playing field. If you're going to harass everybody here, even though most of us don't care about your harassment, then I think that you should make sure that everybody who doesn't belong here has the exact same thing that you're trying to make us have. Although I don't care about your harassment, you're not going to make me change my mind. But let's just take a quick gander, shall we? If you just read the title, then you would say, oh, sheesh, thank goodness it's about time. But as you get inside of the story, you see it ain't about time. It's just about headlines, because they know people not reading. Okay? They know that people are not reading. What y'all drinking this morning? Tea, coffee, hot chocolate? Now, it says here that the U.S. is to require vaccines for all foreign border crossers in January. Now, we're thinking, good. This million people that are coming over here, there's 200,000 people every other month there in Texas. They're going to have to take it. Well, good. All right. But that's not what the story goes into. And you tell me, because it's clearly covering specific people that you can put your finger on. It's not covering all those caravans. Now, it goes on to say that essential non-resident workers who drive into the United States have to be fully vaccinated against the COVID-19 by January 22nd. And then this is from the White House. They were expected to announce. Truck drivers, emergency responders, and government officials will be held to the same rules as those traveling across the border from Canada or Mexico for pleasure. A top official in the President Biden's administration said on Tuesday. Under the new policy, American citizens and permanent residents would still be allowed to enter into the United States even if they had not had their roll up their sleever. But they would face additional COVID-19 tests as a both public as well as a health precaution and disincentive to remain unvaccinated. And this is according to the official who spoke on condition of anonymity. Now, the White House delayed a vaccination requirement for essential travelers earlier this month, so as to not interrupt the intracontinental trade. Right. We don't want to mess that up. Now, this has continued to be unabated since the start of the pandemic, the intracontinental trade. This is not what we wanted to hear. What I wanted to hear was the fact that they were telling us that everybody is coming over here is going to be jabbed. Jab them. But that's not what they're doing. The upcoming regulations were panned as unnecessary government mandates by the trade association representing 150,000 drivers in the United States and Canada. Quote, these requirements are another example of how impractical regulations will send safe drivers off the road, close quote. This quote comes from Norita Taylor. That's from the Owner-Operator Independent Drivers Association spokesperson. Who knows? They get me so confused. They put woman. I thought they meant person, but it's a woman. And that's good. I have a lot of familiarity with this company. I place some of my clients with them. They are an organization that you can purchase your membership per annum, and they sort of help keep you abreast of what's going on. So it goes on to say that the border guidelines come as the White House continues to use legal maneuvers to increase the country's inoculation rates. About 47 million adults in the country remain unvaccinated as of Tuesday, according to the CDC, and a sweeping Biden policy that would require workers at large companies to prove their vaccination status or submit to weekly testing and wear masks until January the 4th was put on pause by a federal court last week. So does that sound like if you were somebody that was just skimming? Does that sound like what we were trying to get it to look like? What we were trying to get it to be? No, it doesn't, does it? Not at all. Smoke and mirrors, my friends. Smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors, I tell you. That's all they're doing. Just smoke and mirrors. They're loving on you, Melvin. I am a pure blood. A pure blood? What does that mean, dirty Linder? So, you know, Fefe, you know what it is. Replacement. Yes. Frozen hot chocolate. From Dunkin' Donuts. I live in Canada, and they are trying to jab the kids here, breaking my heart. It's terrible, terrible, Linda. They just did it here, and I don't really think that they're telling everybody everything, but you know what I did get today, though? And I want to tell you guys, I'm getting some really good information. I'm with you on that, Linda. I'm with you on that, sister. I've gotten some great information. I don't know if the guy wants me to tell his name, but the next story is coming from him. And you guys already know that I lost my news button. I don't have my button. I can't even find how to reduplicate the button. And I don't know how to hit the button showing that somebody gave me some good news. But in any case, I digress. I believe that this story is just for people who will not go into the story and read, who just want to take a headline and run with it and pretend like they know something at the water cooler at the job. Well, did you know that the U.S. is now going to require all the vaccines of all the foreign people? Yep. Do you see how the story reads? They're hoping you're not going to dig into this story. Did you know that, Linda? That's what they're hoping. They're hoping we did not dig into the story. Woman of spirit. That's what they're hoping, Angela. They're hoping we did not go into the story and read it. Wouldn't you concur, Sarah Brown? I concur. That's what they were hoping, but this again is just more smoke and mirrors. And I, for one, am not taking it. I'm not going to take it sitting down. Okay? I'm just not going to take it. Linda says, I'm perfect, whole and complete. Just... Is that S-L-Y-L-Y? So in other words, the Father made you perfect and you just perfect the way that you were the day that you were born. Hallelujah. Okay, I do too, Angela. Angela Courtwright Kello says, I hate clickbait headlines. Now, if I know Angela, she's already had whatever warm beverage she's going to drink this morning. Or she may be joining it with us, having it with us. You're loving it. I'm loving the love it. And Sarah Brown says it's for the headlines, people that only read headlines, which is way too many people, sadly. Well, yes, absolutely, because I tell you, I was truly and honestly hoping that once I got digging deep into this story and I got my cuspids all held onto it tight, that when I pulled away, I was going to come back with something that was one small redeeming quality for our country. And it would appear that it isn't. So let's get some more information here. Does anybody know what's going on with the whole, I think I want to show you this, but does anybody know what's going on with the, Kyle? Oh, no, I don't want to. Yes, I do want to go into that. I do want to go into Kyle's situation. I'm going to show you two Kyles. The first Kyle I'm going to show you is this one. Let's listen, shall we?
Kyle, I got to know him a little bit. He called. He wanted to know if he could come over, say hello, because he was a fan, unlike the other guy. He came over with his mother. Really a nice young man, and what he went through, that was prosecutorial misconduct. He should not have had to suffer through a trial for that. He was going to be dead. If he didn't pull that trigger, that guy that put the gun to his head, in 1/4 of a second, he was going to pull the trigger. Kyle would have been dead. He's a really good young guy. He's 18 years old, just left Mar-a-Lago a little while ago, and he should never have been put through that. That was prosecutorial misconduct, and it's happening all over the United States right now with the Democrats.
Now, that piece was used specifically for informational purposes. There was no intention of having an infringement of any kind on anybody's copyright. This was for information. It was also for a conversation to have here on an educational level, as well as to glean the information. So it was not intended as a copyright infringement, and there is a link under the United States government that tells you exactly that down below in our description box. Let's have a conversation about this, because I just think that where the former president is concerned, that just hurt this guy's credibility. And I say that with, I say that very honestly. You know why I say that? Because people are going to be looking at the situation and they're going to say, well, see, he's hooked up with him. Now that's a big problem. Here's the deal. It's all a plot, a plan. A plot and a plan. It is. Now, whether they're following it out to a T, or whether they're doing a good job with it, or whether somebody made a mistake and shouldn't have said something, or zigged when they should have zagged, I don't know. But this whole thing is beginning to smell more and more and more like a compost heap. It is beginning to smell a lot like a compost heap. Okay? Because I want to say why it smells like a compost heap. Smells like a compost heap because out of one side of his neck, he says that he likes the lives that matter. And out of another side of the neck, he's, saying, okay, well, X, Y, or Z. And what I think is, it does. It looks exactly like an after-school special made for TV on Channel 7 News, ABC, when I was growing up. And yes, of course, he's going to be a rich man, but riddle me this, Batman. I want to ask the class this question. If you had just gone through all of that, wouldn't you be hiding out somewhere? I mean, it was just, a few days ago, technically, that the results came out. And in order for you to have an audience with someone like, I don't know, former president, anybody, wouldn't you have to at least have had that scheduled? I mean, I don't know. I don't know, just guessing. Because I know I can't even get in to see, my regular family doctor like that. I mean, it's almost a month unless you're dropping dead. So how did he get an audience with former President Donald Trump? And again, this is just November 24th, Wednesday. That had to have been at least yesterday. So how did this happen? There's some funkiness going on. And like I said, even if this is just a movie, remember what I said. Remember what I've been saying, that even if it's a script, then I would take that person, that character's side. Remember? I said that. If this was a script, I would take that person's side. I most definitely believe it is a script. Well, everything comes from Hollywood, right? Right? You know what I'm saying? Why? What's ever happened to guys like these? Oh, no offense, honey. No offense taken at all. But I just feel like there's just something not right in this whole entire story. It's just something not right in this whole entire story. And again, like I said, I don't know. I just think that they make a lot of stuff. You got whole of Hollywood. You've got all of Hollywood. They've got all of Hollywood at their disposal. Everybody. They've got, listen, imagine that it's Hollywood against us. Imagine if all of them, everybody, who's them, they, them, you know, the ones they say, you know what they say? Well, they. Imagine that they, the collective of they, were all Hollywood. And in that whole big thing, they had a basketball division, a football division, a baseball division, okay? And then they had the movie star division, they had the rock star division, they had the dancer division. They had all these different divisions, but it was all Hollywood, every inch of it, including the whole of the politics. It was all Hollywood. Now that you've got that in your mind, imagine them, Hollywood, with us, the person paying to watch, in many different aspects, not just to sit down and watch it as if a television show. No ma'am, no sir, but watching. We pay with our tax dollars, we pay with everything else. But we don't realize that what's being played out in front of us is literally not real. That, as a matter of fact, they're regurgitating these actors from little bitty kids all the way up to adults, all the way to their different vocation, whether it be that basketball, rock star, or football player. Imagine that. Imagine that they're all connected somehow and it's just us down here. I submit that, yeah, something's afoot. Movie, get a no star rating from me. You'll know it's all become like one giant medieval times show. Everyone waving their color flags, cheering their knights. Exactly. I have gone to 10 movies in 30 years. And here we are in America, girl, living it out every day. He's only 17. I've heard that his mother has talked enough times to get a read. Well, now here's the deal. He just turned 18, right? They seem extremely naive, easy to manipulate type folks. I don't know, Sarah, girl. I don't know. I don't know, Sarah. These folks seem like they up to something. Ha ha! I knew. I knew where you're going. The color of the beach. Yeah. Yep. Some ain't right. But you know what? It's all good. Because what they're going to do is they're going to wait for this next case to go over that they've fashioned in, what was it, Atlanta. That's what they're doing. They're going to wait for that to go on and do its thing before they show us their real dirty birdie hand. Their real dirty birdie hand. You know, last year I did a story and it was on, let's see. Let's go over here. Let's check it out. Let's check it out like a book. Oh boy, these people are amazing. The stuff they do. I don't even care anymore the stuff that they do, because the stuff that they do is just amazing. It's crazy amazing. All right, so here I go. I'm going to pull up videos from last year. And then the one that I want to see is this one. I want you guys to watch this. It's my video. I gotta say that before the things that be think that I'm playing somebody else's stuff. Then I have to have all kinds of problems. They give you, what, 2 cents off of one video? And then they want to say, yeah, it's gonna be a copyright strike. 2 pennies off of each video. The video's been up there for, what, a year almost. And all you made is 2 pennies off of it, but you're gonna get in trouble. So no, it's my video. It's my video. So, how about that? All right, I'm digging around. I'm rummaging around. I'm digging in the crates. I'm going back in history and in time, and I'm going to find it. I promise I will. Here it is. We are dealing with the topic of not being fed a bowl of lies so that we don't get moved and triggered by the stuff they want us to get triggered by. So this was a year ago. I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret, baby. let y'all come on over here where I'm digging. They went through a few lawyers. Perhaps they aren't easily manipulated. It's like a reality TV show. They all have producers, real people, but not really real. Yeah, this is a mess. This is a mess. This is a mess, you guys. This is, and you know what the sad thing is that they use us. Yeah, they do. They use us, and we get all emotional. We get in our feelings. Nothing more than feelings. Feelings like I never knew before. Feelings. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, anyway. All right, let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Let's find it. Let's find it. Yes, yes, yes. It's in here. It's in here. I didn't think about it. I should have thought about using this, but then again, I didn't find that other story until today. But I thought, I don't think this is right. I think something is going on, and I think that they're trying to use us as usual. Oh, maybe I shrouded it because they were attacking old stuff like this. I probably did shroud it. Ah, there it is. Old, tired, antiquated tricks. Here we go. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to make it bigger. Okay. Then I'm going to come on over here and jam it out with you guys.
It's one of the oldest tactics used in America to cause divisiveness among blacks and whites. People who get up every day and go to work together. Some go to the same church together. Some are even in the same family with one another. And yet, these tactics are used every single time we're about to have an election. What are they? They are old, outdated, incendiary tactics caused by social issues created to continue hatred between blacks and whites in America. Old, antiquated, outdated, and they don't work anymore unless we allow it to. Please. Recently, Mayor of Atlanta, Keisha Lance Bottoms, came out and stated that Ahmaud Arbery's death was akin to a lynching of an African-American man. She even went on to say that she blamed the president because of the racially charged environment we're in right now. She blamed him because these men were supporters of the
there's no
president,
sound?
and they
Let me start
chased
it
this
again.
man
Sorry about
because
that.
of the ennoblement or the empowerment that they got from this
Let me get it.
president.
Thank you for letting me know.
Now, I've gone back and
Thank you for telling me.
rising the black community.
Let me start it over. Thank you for telling me there was no sound.
Recently, Mayor of Atlanta, Keisha Lance Bottoms, came out and stated that Ahmaud Arbery's death was akin to a lynching of an African-American man. She even went on to say that she blamed the president because of the racially charged environment we're in right now. She blamed him because these men were supporters of the president, and they chased this man because of the ennoblement or the empowerment that they got from this president. Now, I've gone back and I've looked at several situations, and most of the situations that I've come up with and thought about in my head, I've been able to go back and trace and see that every time there's something that's uprising the black community to get us into our emotional vein, there's always been one shape or another, in one shape or another, an election. Whether it is an election for something local, whether it is an election for something national, whether they're trying to push the narrative in a community and they want to make somebody afraid, they always seem to do this. Incite us to riot. It's not so much that they want to incite us to riot that I'm making this video today, but I want to ask each and every one of my brothers and sisters, are we so emotionally moved? And if we are, what can we each do individually to prevent ourselves from being moved this way? You see, there's something to be said about someone when they're studying prey. They look for weaknesses and they want to see exactly how people respond with X. And what is it that they do constantly when X is implemented? If this is the case and they've studied us so well, then I think it's incumbent upon us to stop doing whatever it is and stop buying the garbage they sell every single time. We need to investigate ourselves and find out, are we motivated by fear and anger? Are we the mad black woman? Are we the mad black man? Is that who we are? And if it is, are we making decisions while we're angry? Are we? And I think the same for my white brothers and sisters. Are you moved by what you see? Do you become defensive and want to defend yourself and your community against the black man every time something goes on? Do you make sure that you go out and you vote and you push for the person that you want to get in there so that they change these things? It's incumbent upon all of us to think about the role we play and the decisions we make. Please like, share, and subscribe. This is Felicia Lockhart, and this has been the Lockhart Perspective.
Now, mind you, this video was from last year. And the video right before that, let's see, this video got 76 views last year. But I didn't care because I still had to say it. So I think I'm going to share it over here on the tweeters so that they can take a glance at that. Let everybody take a gander over there on the tweeters, right? Let's let them just take a gander on over there on the tweeters. Let's do that. But the reason that I made that video and the one before it, and I know the sound was bad on that one because the sound was out on this one. But, you know, I've always been the weird kid. I've always been the weird kid in the class. I've always been the weird person to sort of put all this stuff in. They're like, I don't know. And they were like, come on, let's go, vote with us. And I'm thinking, I'm the only person in the class that's not voting. And I'm like, nah, I don't think I want to get involved in that. And then everybody that does it goes, and I may have to go to the library because I don't want to go outside. And then all of a sudden, a major hailstorm pops up out there. It was looking good, but I was like, yeah, I don't know. It's just something in my knower. Just something in my knower tells me when something ain't right. Something in my knower tells me when something could happen. So for this situation, I say, are we accurate in the way that they motivate us to be moved by what we see? Good morning, Melinda Ann. It's so good to see you, Princess. Or Joan says, thank you, Felicia, for always connecting the dots. You're a very wise lady. That's because I hang out with all y'all, and all of y'all are wise. Right is still right, wrong is still wrong, and evil is still evil, Melinda says. Wow, Angela Courtwright Callum. I'm afraid that as I get older, I search for motives. Who is going to benefit most assuredly? If this kid, I don't want to say his name because, child, you don't know how these things be tripping, Sarah. But if this kid had not been found guilty, would have been a sad day for self-defense. And if someone doesn't have the right to defend themselves in this situation, then no one does. But those Georgia boys are guilty. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you what I think, because you know I got to. I think that every one of these situations were created. Go back and look at all of the family members' response to their situation. Look at the response. Look at how the sister stands and cries. Look at how the brother stands and cries. Look at who their attorneys are. Who's representing them? The attorneys that are representing them, do you always see them? Do they remind you of the one that's on the side of the bus driving down the street? If you are a victim of a slip and fall, call me, because I'll solve it all. Do they remind you of that? Connect the dots and see who's paying for a dodo bird attorney. There's one guy that's traipsing around the town, and I just think he's the dumbest guy I've ever seen, and I don't mean any harm to the fellow, and I don't think that, I think maybe he was just like the lowest cat in the class. You know what I'm saying? I think he just had the lowest grades. I don't know, but I just think that maybe he had a mama name or a daddy name or somebody that knew somebody with a whole bunch of money, and that person with a whole bunch of money said, I'm going to fund your boy to go to school, and I'm going to make sure that he has a job when he gets out, and then they send him around the nation conveniently to chase these stories and to represent these people. Here's the deal. When I see one particular cat always pop up, and I had my suspicions originally, his face solidifies everything I thought. Everything I thought. So, no, I don't believe that it's real. I believe that it was all a nice movie. I believe that every cent of it, every piece of it, every coin, every dollar, every dime that was spent on it was exactly to get us where we are now, having letter A, the conversation, and B, to get us divided, to get us to the place where we want to tout the words, this person is a super mercy. You know what I'm trying to say? Or that somebody has any power over us. Or vice versa. Yeah. So no, I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. I think that what's going to happen is going to be quite creepy. Now, let me show you this. This last situation with Kyle. Okay? That last situation with him should prove one thing. Letter A, it's a good thing in for self-defense. But at the same time, say for example I'm right and this wasn't real. They've got to take it back somehow. They've got to take it back. Say for example, this next situation that comes out is the opposite of what we think it should be. This last case worked, and I'll tell you why it worked. It worked because right now, you've got all these black people believing that this was a black and white situation when there was not one person who was black that passed away, that was harmed, that was hurt, that was running. None of these people are black, not one. And yet, they have mastered the art of the confusion that we just got through seeing. They've mastered the art of mental manipulation. And this was before they forced a candy bar. Hey, I'm just putting it out there. I could be so wrong. But I think that this right here is a mess. And I think they know exactly what they're doing. Yes, indeed. Any movie that you've ever seen, tell me somebody, what is your favorite movie? Really fast. Think about it. What's your favorite movie of all time? I just showed you guys one of the ones that I said I really liked just recently. And it was on, oh goodness gracious, it was the one with Idris, baby. Yes, you can get so engrossed in a movie that you literally begin to like the character. And even the one that can be the bad guy in the very beginning of the movie, once they show you his plight as a child, or maybe give you a couple of flashbacks as a kid, and you see that his daddy left him at the bus station when he was only 4, breakfast at Tiffany's. Then you begin to have sympathy for the bad guy because his daddy left him at the bus station when he was 4 years old. But he was a bad guy in the movie. But you gained sympathy for him. The Last Holiday. Think about what motivated you to like that. In The Breakfast at Tiffany's, was it the clothing? Because I loved the beautiful, dainty dresses that the women wore in that era. I just loved it. I loved it. The Last Holiday. What did you like about it? Think about this, you guys. This is how we connected, and this is how we say, As soon as you see the story, and as soon as you see the family members sitting up there crying, and they're not crying, and not one tear, not one, my baby, not one. When they sit up there and they on the screen and they almost laughing, Melinda Ann. These different situations are produced and manipulated to keep our eyes off. Yes. Okay? It's okay, Sarah. Okay? White Christmas. Oh, good old movies. Had to cough, you guys. It's true. You get attached to TV and movie characters. I submit that situation that is so messy in Atlanta is so messy, and everybody's watching it right now. And you can't tell people this, not people who are easily triggered. You're not going to be able to tell anybody this. They're going to be like, oh, well, what's the problem with you? You know what? You just got this issue or that issue. I'm telling y'all, watch this situation, you guys, because they got a whole boatload of black people running around here right now calling the character a racist. And who did he hurt that was black? Who did he hurt? Mind massage. Well, in other Kyle news, who knows who Kyle Kuzma is? It's a football player, basketball player. I think he's a basketball player. Used to be with the Lakers, and I think he's with the Wizards. Anybody know who he is? Anybody? Well, look at this kid. Who does this? Is this not the humiliation walk of shame? And no, those aren't tassels. I was about to say, he better hope those aren't tassels. That's his pants. But it did look like tassels. Did you see that? Did you just see that? What a person won't do for a couple of bucks. Is this some type of hazing? Kyle Kuzma's pre-game outfit Monday night featured an oversized sweater that looked more like a blanket, and naturally he got roasted like a marshmallow over it. The 26-year-old showed off his Ralph Simmons oversized sleeve virgin wool jumper, which is really a shirt or a sweater, which comes with a price tag of $1,659, and the sleeves that almost touched the floor, on his way into the locker room before Monday's game against the Charlotte Hornets. And the dude's NBA buddies had a blast at his expense. All of these things to get you off the track. This kid's being indoctrinated. That's what's going on with him. He's being indoctrinated. So we went from one Kyle to another Kyle, but my point to you is they're both a show. It's a show. And America is doing nothing more than playing out this stuff. Come on, bro. DeMarcus Cousins commented on Cuz IG picture showing off his fit SH, whatever this is. Getting out of hand now. Isaiah Thomas added, come on, killer. LOL. That one ain't it. Ha ha ha. J.R. Smith says, even took a break from class to get in on the clowning. Sheesh. Saying, man, hey, HELLLLL, no. Not everyone hated it WNBA player Liz Cambage praised the interesting wardrobe choice, saying, "He went and done did it." Influencer Zach Bia had a simple reaction, adding, "Yes, LeBron James even went in on his old teammate, saying, 'Ain't no effing way you wore that.'" Laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji. I'm not pressing the like button because this is outrageous, cuz. Cuz has been known to make a statement with his style in the past, but man, this piece of work certainly has people torn. No, it doesn't. It's doing exactly what they wanted to do. They want to show the ridiculousness that is America. And the only way that they can do that is by putting up, yes, hazing. Absolutely. It's the only way that they can do this. Yes. Have you noticed their use of similar names in news stories? Mind games going on. Yes, ma'am. It's because it's so dividing with that kid. It's like people watch two different movies. Seems like most agree the Georgia boys are wrong, so it doesn't get as much attention because people agree. Yeah, but you need to watch that. Keep your eye on that story. Keep your eye on that story. Keep your eye on that story. Because that right there is going to be a hot rump mess. It's beneficial to research symbolism. That's right. It is a humiliation ritual. It's the same thing they do, like you said, hazing. Same thing that they do when they're doing all the fraternities and the sororities. And I was always a me type chick. Again, not a follower. There's just no way. No way are you getting me involved in that. Because I tell you one thing, you let one of those girls had done something crazy to me, and we would have been rolling around on the floor fighting. Because I just wouldn't have known how to act. How are you going to hurt somebody? How are you going to make me do something kooky and crazy? Now, let's take a gander, shall we? I want you guys to see this. All right, I'm going to do a serious story now. Then after that, we're going to go right into our final story of the day. Let's take a gander. Okay. Now, this came from one of our newest members from over on Bettina's channel. Very nice gentleman. Sent this story in. Now, mystery emerges among COVID patterns in Los Angeles County, and officials are trying to figure out and understand why some of Los Angeles' highest case areas are currently in communities with the highest V rates. In Los Angeles, California, while unvaccinated people continue to become infected, hospitalized, and killed by the coronavirus at dramatically higher rates, a peculiar pattern is developing in the Los Angeles County area that has health officials puzzling for an explanation. During a 2-week period ending November the 6th, several of the Los Angeles County communities with the highest rates of coronavirus cases are also the communities that have the higher rate average vaccination rates. Higher than average vaccination rates. Authorities aren't quite sure why that would be. Differences in behavior or waning immunity from vaccines may be factors. People in those communities may have lower levels of natural immunity due to historically low levels of coronavirus exposure. The Department of Public Health Director Barbara Fiera said authorities are trying to examine what factors are in play in individual communities that have above average vaccination rates but still had among the highest new cases rates. One common denominator appears to be age. Younger people are driving this pandemic, Ferrer says. The median age of people becoming infected ranges from ages 26 to 36, meaning young people are driving the numbers. More than half of the country's confirmed COVID-19 cases to date have been among those who are 18 to 49 years old, according to the county's health officials. Quote, "I will say the one thing that does jump out, the average of ages were very low in all the communities. This is essentially the communities with the highest rates. This is a pandemic that is, in fact, fueled by younger people, closed quote. Given the young median of age of infected people, quote, we know that intermingling both socially and at work sites is a contributing factor, she says. Quote, she continues, whoever you are and wherever you live, whether you live in a community with a high vaccination rate or not so high vaccination rates, the most important thing you as a person are going to need to do is to get yourself vaccinated. The people you love vaccinated, and then be sensible about precautions around intermingling while transmission rates remain relatively high across the country, she says. Of the 10 communities that had the highest rate of the new cases, 7 had vaccination rates that exceeded the county-wide rate. According to Farrar, she insists, however, the numbers don't mean that vaccines are not effective. Quote, if you're not vaccinated, you've got a much higher risk of ending up infected, ending up in the hospital, and tragically passing away. That's crystal clear, and that has not really changed for months now, Farrar says during a media briefing. She said current figures show how unvaccinated people are 9 times more likely than vaccinated to get infected and 67 times more likely to be hospitalized. Communities such as Lancaster, Palmdale, Studio City, and Santa Clarita were among the 10 Los Angeles County areas that had the highest rates of new COVID-19 cases. That's amazing because those areas are very sparse, except for Studio City. They're very far out and stretched out. Infections during a 2-week period that ended on November the 6th. And even though most of the areas that made the list above average vaccination rates, the county's health director said on Thursday. Now, the top 2 communities on the list with the highest new case rates are Lancaster and Palmdale. That seems amazing to me, having lived there, I tell you. That's just me interjecting. They have below average rates, okay, cool, of fully vaccinated residents at 58 and 66% respectively. But Studio City was the 3rd highest new case rate and has 79% vaccination rate. And Santa Clarita, placing 4th on the list, has a 75% vaccine rate. The countywide number of fully vaccinated residents is 73%. And of the other communities on the top of the list of highest new cases, well, only Willowbrook at 62% falls below the county-wide vaccination rate. Some of our communities have right now, higher case rates are in fact communities that really have decent coverage in terms of vaccinations. We just can't figure it out. We just don't understand it. We need to knock on some doors to get some answers. What's wrong? How come this is happening? And they still have a problem with high case rates. She says that a variety of factors could be at play in different communities, among them the possibility that some areas had large numbers of people who were never previously infected with it and remain unvaccinated, leading to higher current infection numbers. Quote, that certainly is possible, although we have to look at more data to draw that conclusion. We really do. We got to look at the data. The county reported another 26 COVID-19 deaths on Thursday, raising the overall virus-related death toll to 26,949. Another 1,088 cases were reported, given the county, and the cumulative total 1,515,324. The rolling average, or the rolling average daily rate of people testing positive for it was 1.1% as of last Thursday. That is a big number, 1.1, considering how many people are in that area. According to the state figures, there were 611 COVID positive patients being treated in the county hospital as of last Thursday, down from 616 on Wednesday. Notice the 6 numbers, 611 and 616. This is where I stopped reading. I should have been stopped reading, because I really could smell the topsoil from up there. But when you give me 611 COVID positive and then you tell me down from 616, I stop. Because I see what you're trying to do with your multitude of words. Mind massage, mind massage, mind massage. Our final story is going to be about our previous... I wonder if I can get into the story here. If I can or not. Yeah, I can. Whoa. It's going to be about our previous first teenager. So it's going to be about. Let's see what you guys have to say about this. Goes back to 2005. Being a long time planning. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Increased increased problems. Yep. Lots of it. I've lost my copy. I'm a hot mess too. That's why I really like Holly Golightly. Angela, of course they can't. It doesn't fit the new with the new math. I'm so tired of all this manure. I'm right there with you. Figures don't lie, but liars figure. Angela says, these guys must be sitting back laughing their butts off at how clueless so many are. Yep. Found it in my closet. Not sure. What does that say? So sure, Melinda. Sarah. And die. It's the great culling. Just look at the Georgia Guidestones. Okay. So here's our last story right here. I want you to tell me about this kid. And this is just a story. Because no matter what, this is a real person. And I always had some compassion for the baby because of how bad they treated him when his daddy with his raunchy rump got in there. But it's the newest Trump Tower. Barron shows off his 6'7" height in New York. Look at this kid. What is that in his hand? Is that luggage? Oh, please tell me it's luggage. I don't think I can take another Magic Johnson child. Oh, please tell me it's luggage. But look how tall this baby is. He has really gotten tall. Wow, he looked every inch of 6'7" on Wednesday when he stood head and shoulders over his mom and their security detail as they were snapped leaving their Manhattan home. The suitably named Trump Towers. Look at the baby. Okay? I don't have nothing bad to say about nobody's baby because this is still a baby. But he's gotten so tall. Yes. The towering teen wearing a dark-sleeved t-shirt tucked into his jeans also appeared to show impeccable manners, with the Daily Mail saying that he was carrying his mother's bag for her. The rare Louis Vuitton Richard bag, price $39.95. $39.95. And was released in 2008, the outlet said, paling in comparison to the $11,000 black Hermes bag that Mama was toting. Well, they rich. And not only that, she's a model. And I'm going to tell you that when I was working in the beauty industry, they would load us down with all kinds of free stuff. Stuff that you and I would not want to go out and buy right now. And if I had to go replace any of that stuff, I definitely couldn't. I'd be down there at the old antiquated Zodi's. People don't even remember Zodi's, but I'd be going down to Zodi's and make my purchases. Kmart, where's the blue light special? Because I'm not about to go and try to duplicate what they gave me. I mean, right now I wear a Tiffany's necklace. Tiffany's. I didn't buy this. This was a blessing to me from back in 1997 when I was working for Shiseido USA. My numbers maxed. I think what was it? 52% over LY. So, no, it was actually 52% over their plan. Yeah, I went 52% over their plan. So if you know business, you know you've got the last year's numbers and you've got the plan that are projected based on last year's numbers. Well, I went 52% over their plan, and they bought me this necklace. And the only thing that I've had to do since 1997 was replace my little chain. My point? I ain't going to no Tiffany's buying nothing, so she just might have had the same opportunity. I'm sure she's purchased some stuff, but listen, $11,000 black Hermes bag, that to me is relative. Okay? It's relative. It's relative to who you are. It's relative to if you got, some free stuff coming. I'm just hoping this baby don't turn into Damien Omen too. That's all I'm hoping. I'm just hoping this baby don't turn into Damien and then I'll have to eat my hat or my bonnet or whatever it is I'll be eating the day he turns into Damien. I'm hoping. Okay. Former model Melania, 51, also wore a black button-down shirt with white pants, as if we can't see. Thank you for explaining it. And this person has probably never had a coin of their own because they want to let us know that it was paired with a pair of $645 Christian Louboutin pointy flat toes shoes. The former president himself is no slouch at 6'3". I thought he was taller than 6'3". I thought he was 6'5". Something's up with that. He's not 6'3". I remember him being 6'5". My daddy is 6'2". So he was more than an inch. And they have the identical birthday. He himself is no slouch at 6'3", marbled at a GOP event in North Carolina last month. How his youngest is already the tallest. Also, look at that. I love that jacket. Is that shearling or suede? Either way it goes, it's beautiful on her. Look at the baby. I don't talk about people's babies. I don't. I just think he's a precious child. That's all I think. That's all I think. Well, look how far she's walking away from him. I think she wants very little, if anything, to do with him. And I think he, being born in the month of June, is even more. I think he is more than able to oblige her with that. You don't want to stand next to me? That's okay. So, sister, I can get a whole lot more chickadees. Where I found you at. 'Cause I was born in June. And I can find a whole lot more chickadees. Chickadees. Yes, he can. So, just thought I would throw that story out there. That's what I thought I'd do. Yes, let's see what these people are slinging. Can't even grow pretty flowers on decent or decent vegetables. Maybe it's his mama's bag. I hope so. Yes, and then we saw that it was. Nephilim? I don't know. I just know that he's a precious child. And I just think that, his mother did a good job trying to protect him while they were in there. And she did her best. That's what I think. She says, let's see. Sarah says, that's what I was thinking, Angela. Yes. And it's a good thing that it was, right? Sally's here. Great minds at Sarah. Yes, ma'am, Angela. Damien. You caught that. Well, you guys, it's 1 hour and 8 minutes into our coffee and our jazz and our relaxation and just sitting here having a good time. I mean, we're done for the day. That's it. But we, both Ronnie Man and I, will be back to put a little button on the turkey. We gonna put a button on the turkey. Y'all know we got to put a button on the turkey. I mean, I already know a lot of people got their recipes already ready for Thursday. Or tomorrow. I know a lot of folks are going to, pull out the old pecan pie and the pumpkin pie and the sweet potato pie for tomorrow. I already know. But we're going to take the proverbial hat pin and pop your balloon at 3 o'clock today. Yes, we are. We're going to take the proverbial hat pin and pop the balloon today. No more parties for you. So what are we doing today at 3 o'clock? We are going to touch base on the fact that the pagan holidays run deep. Now, one thing I want everybody to remember, no matter if we want to let it go yet or not, see, here's the deal. We all let go of Rome in our own timing. Don't go anywhere yet, you guys. Hang out with me just a second. We all let go of Rome at our own timing. We all let go of all of the pagan things that we've learned at our own timing. Some of us say, well, I've known that for years, but I've still wanted to do this holiday because of X, Y, Z. I submit, just change the time frame and get your family to come over, but that's neither here nor there. The entire belief system of Christianity is based out of paganism, and that's the sad part about it, because we were all Christians. We were trying to do a good job, but now we're coming in to truth, and truth cannot be muddled with old stuff that is not truth. Paganism is witchcraft. That's what I like to say. It's just straight and to the point. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, we are going to show you the pagan roots in Thanksgiving for this today, 3 o'clock. We're going to break it all down. We're going to show you who started it here in the United States. We're also going to take you to all the pantheons, all the Greeks and all of the Romans and all of the Egyptian and all the ties that take you back to the sacrifices and all the harvests and all that stuff, to the goddesses and all of that. We're going to break it on down to you, and you're going to make your own decision as to whether or not you decide to do it now in the future, because there is now, therefore, no condemnation to them that love the Father. But what I will do is tell you that we'll give you something to juxtapose, so you'll have an option. You'll see exactly what you want to do. Do I still want to do this pagan holiday after I learn its source and where it comes from? Or do I just want to serve y'all on his feast days and get together with my family members anytime I choose to? Well, we'll see today at 3 o'clock as we have our guest with us, Ronnie Mann. I want to tell each and every one of you, I appreciate you so much for your support with this new segment, Fefe's Jazz and Coffee Cafe. Anthony Van Zandt, good morning, good sister friend, you Fefe, you. It's good to see you. Good to see you, my sweethearts. So yes, all right. So that's what we're going to do today at 3 o'clock. Let's see. I'm like a supermodel. People always watch when I'm coming. Yeah, my black bib overalls, t-shirt covered with a flannel shirt, and my work boots. Got to put on them boots. I know that's right. So I want to remind everybody that today at 3 o'clock we'll be together, and I hope that you can come on in and slide on by. Okay? I love each and every one of you. And you remember what we always say here on this channel, and that is that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High Yah. You guys take care of yourselves first and continue to take care of one another. Until we see each other again, please be blessed.
I've always been a unique person, you know what I mean? Sort of laid back in a way, but very adamant and very passionate about what I believe. I think a lot of times that sort of throws people off because they don't expect me to have the mindset or the process of thought that I do. And so when you come in to watch my channel, you may hear a myriad of thoughts and ideas that could be different from others. What I want you to do is just sit back, like, share, and subscribe. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. Helping